This is Griff Talk, hosted by Chris Chamorro, Pedro Viana, and myself, James Abudakar. We're three friends on a mission to travel the world and share our journey. Today, we're fortunate enough to interview Shrista Tyree.
Whoop whoop.
What's up, you doing?
Hey, Shrista.
I just dab for anyone who's listening.
Dabbing over
Air
here.
dab.
Air dab.
Before we get started, we just want to forewarn you, today's episode is definitely not one for the kids. So Shrista, you're a comedian, right, here in Portland?
Whoop whoop, yes I am.
Yeah? When did you know you had a gift at making people laugh? Were you always funny growing up as a kid?
Yeah, I would say so. That sounds real conceited, but... I was always the class clown. I will definitely say that. So I always had jokes. I was always making fun of people. It was kind of my thing. Some people get offended nowadays when I post stuff or say stuff, but I've just been really blunt my whole life. Sometimes it wasn't even about being funny. It was just I was really blunt, so I said what's on people's minds. I didn't know you weren't supposed to say that out loud. Like, damn, that bitch fat, and I would just came out. Just came out, and I'm like, oh shit, my bad.
Complete transparency.
Yes, I'm like, girl, you cute. But yeah, I've been kind of doing jokes all the time. It's just part of my personality.
But I think I've heard there's a nickname your mom had for you.
Oh, there is.
Right?
Infamous 2 cents.
2 cents. Let's hear about it. Let's hear a little more about that.
Man, so my mom called me 2 cents because when I was growing up, I always had something to say. It didn't matter what was going on. I always put my 2 cents in everything. And she would just be like, shut up, 2 cents. And I'm like, and I used to get offended by that name. I'm like, I'm not 2 cents. But I literally argued about anything my whole life. Like, when I used to get disciplined, which I didn't really get disciplined because I don't listen. So like high school, like parenting, I was probably the worst child ever because I always had something to say. Like she'd be like, oh, you're grounded. I'm like, but I'm really not because I have a window. So it didn't really matter what you said. Like, I always had something to say. And in middle school, I had the teacher, or I had Principal Mr. Galati.
Yeah.
Which is hilarious because, yes, I work at Petco now and he comes there all the time.
Oh, wow.
Funny story. So he walks in and I recognize him. I'm like, Mr. Galati? And he didn't recognize me at first. He's like, what was your name again? And I was like, Shrista. And he goes straight up, you used to argue with me and be in detention every day.
Oh.
And I was like, that was me. But he literally, I just said my name and he just remembered me because I always have something to say. So, I mean, 2 cents has stuck around my whole life. And even like now, like all you guys follow me on Facebook. And if you don't, follow me. It's Shrista Tyree. But like, I always put my 2 cents on anything going on in the world. And no one ever likes my opinion, but I still put it out there because I don't care. Man.
Everybody's opinion is worth something, right?
Right? Hashtag 2 cent show.
Hell yeah. No, I love that. I like that nickname.
No.
When I heard that, I was like, oh,
so is it gonna be like?
I was way before 2 Chainz. See?
Yeah. See,
He just got that name. He used to be Titty Boy, so.
Oh.
Yeah.
That's some good info. I did not know that.
Yeah, that was his rap name forever. He just changed it.
Really?
Like probably
Okay.
10 years ago. So.
Okay.
I've been 2 cents since I was 6 years old. So.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
Coming for you.
Original. No,
And
that is awesome.
And you've been born and raised here in Portland area?
Dang, we're gonna put that on the podcast.
Oh, is that, do we need
Born and raised, y'all. Born and raised.
Hey, I rep it strong. I'm
Hey, me
born and
too.
raised
Hey,
here.
I rep it real hard. So people think I was born and raised here, but I was born in a different state.
Oh, okay.
I was. A lot of people don't know that. I ain't gonna say the state.
Hey, we don't need to worry about that.
we don't need to worry.
Y'all need
lived
to know
here for
because I
a
feel
majority of
judgments
your
will
life?
come if I say that. I've been here like my whole life though, pretty much. I moved here when I was 2, so
Oh,
it don't. Yeah.
you are.
I tell everyone I'm
Yeah,
from
you're
Portland,
Oregon.
Oregon.
Yeah, I mean, I moved here when I was
11. I consider myself a Oregonian now. I definitely came here before.
Yeah.
He's from
He's
Brazil.
a Brazilian.
Yeah.
Ah,
So-
watch out, he might marry you.
Yeah, what's funny is that those two belong together. They should get married.
Oh, man.
Wow.
I knew I shouldn't have told you that story before the podcast. I knew it was going to burn me at some point. I just had to wait for it.
Always.
But hey, I mean, for people that haven't heard you, you're hilarious. I mean, and it's not just being a friend of yours, you know, and someone I've known you for a long time and really good friends with your brother too. But tell me kind of, I mean, what inspired you to really start growing this from kind of just maybe a hobby to, I mean, this is what you want to do for your career. And you have other career aspirations as well. Maybe just talk a little bit about that.
With the comedy thing, it's the weirdest thing because it was kind of like I would post stuff all the time. Probably like 2 or 3 years ago, I used to just post videos of me just talking. Like I would just do stupid stuff, or I'd be like pranking my friends and I would just post it all the time. And I was doing that for like a year and a half. And then last year, I decided to like actually write a skit, which I never wrote a skit and posted it. It was all just improv and messing with my friends. So I wrote out this skit. It was like the first one. It was called 10 Reasons Why I Didn't Fuck You.
Okay. Hell yes.
Yeah, it's still on Facebook. And I put all these different reasons why I don't fuck certain people. And anyways, apparently half of it was hella rude. So people thought it was hilarious. I don't remember it from the top of my head. I got it on my Facebook though.
Okay, I'll have to check it out.
We'll link it out, right?
I can send it to you. It's called 10 Reasons Why I Didn't Fuck You.
Okay, I'm writing it down already.
But I posted that and I like wrote out the 10 reasons and then I just did this video and edited it. And I got like the biggest response. Everyone was commenting and liking. I got like I think 3,000 views or something on it.
Wow.
And I was just doing it. And I did it really fast. Like it was something I was just like, woo, boom.
Yeah,
for fun.
Like it was real easy to write too. And so like I posted that, and then everyone's like, bro, you need to post more. And then I just, for like last year, like I started stand-up last year, but the year before that, for about a year, I was just doing social media videos. So I just kept posting different, just goofy videos, or like rap challenges, like the So Gone Challenge. Mm-hmm. So I was just doing all those. And then one day, somebody was like, hey, I just went to some show at Harvey's. And I didn't know what that meant at the time, but it's a comedy club. Yeah. They're like, yeah, and they were doing some stand-up, and I feel like you're way funnier than them, at least from your videos. You should try stand-up. I was like, nah, I ain't trying to do stand-up comedy. Like, that's not something I was trying to do. Yeah. But then I started thinking about it, and I'm conceited, and I love attention, so I was like, wow, that would be like the perfect job. Yeah. I just get paid to make people laugh, which is like so natural to me. So it started changing in my head, like the perspective of how I looked at it. And so I thought about it, and then literally probably like 2 days after this person had said that, I wrote up a set. I wrote like a lot too. Like I never sent it to nobody. I just like wrote up this set, and I went to open mic, and I didn't know open mics were like 3 minutes. But I went to open mic the next day after writing it. I stayed up all night and memorized it, and then I went to this mic, and they're like, "Oh, you're new." It's like, "Oh, I follow you on Facebook. I'll let you do your whole set since it's your first time." I ended up being like 12 minutes.
Damn.
And I had invited everyone on Facebook because I don't know, I just think I'm hilarious, so I didn't even care. Like I could have been shit, man. Yeah. Like some people suck. I watch a lot of stand-up. Some people suck at open mics, and I was just like, oh, I'm funny. I'm gonna invite the whole world. Thank God I wasn't horrible. Like I got that set on there too. It's like that's an okay set. Like I mean, people are cracking up because it was just so new to them. Because when I look at that back now, I'm like, why were y'all laughing at those jokes? Not that funny. But I had invited all these people. I went up and I did 12 minutes. And like everyone who were comics, like who've been doing it for a while, they're like, that was your first set? I was like, yeah. And they're like, you wrote 12 minutes your first set? I was like, I don't know. I couldn't stop talking. And then I had got booked that night. Like, I got booked that night, and they're like, how long have you been doing comedy? And I go, about 12 minutes, apparently.
When the comedy club booked you that night?
Yeah,
that's crazy.
I got booked for a festival. I didn't know it was a festival. They were just like, hey, you want to be in this show in a month? And I was like, sure. And then they sent me the details later, and it was like the Black Comedy Festival by The Real Hijinks. And it was just like, okay, a festival. So I started looking into festivals, and that means there's a lot of people there. So I was like, oh, shit. And so I go to this festival at Funhouse Lounge, and it's just like 60, 70 people. The news is there. And like, it was just really intense. And I just remember being so nervous. I thought I was going to forget everything, but I didn't. And because I did my first show was a freaking festival, I just got booked nonstop from that day forward. Like, I got lucky enough to get booked for a festival, so, like, everyone was hitting me up because I had a big turnout come. Like, all my friends and family came, and so They thought I was funny. And then I just got booked nonstop, and like I haven't done like, I never went into that whole open mic thing where people do like practice their jokes. I can actually just write jokes and they're funny. That doesn't, I'm not trying to be conceited, but it's just like, it's really weird how natural it is. I can just write something and that's all. I don't have to practice them in front of anyone.
You got a gift.
Yeah, I just wrote it and I go on stage.
Where can people find you? Where are you?
I'm on everything, and I actually have the same handle for everything because I'm a smart artist.
Nice.
It's at Shrista Tyree, SHRISTA
Because people are gonna definitely want to check out some of this stuff.
I got a lot of stuff on IG. Facebook too, but my IG's popping.
Yeah.
All right.
IG's popping.
I saw you had like 8,000 followers, right? Something like 7,000, 8,000?
6,000, but...
Oh, excuse me. I'm just building you up. You know? My job build you up.
It's just the near future that he was looking at.
Yeah, near future.
Getting there.
I mean... So, you say you don't really tell people jokes. Do you ever watch maybe videos of yourself and work on little techniques or nuances maybe, or?
Yes, I actually, when I first started, I still do. When I first started though, I always recorded every set. Sometimes I miss it because I do the same stuff so much. But my first 4 months, I recorded every single set I did, and I was doing a lot of shows. So I recorded every set because when you first start with comedy, you're kind of mobile, or not mobile, you kind of stand in one place type thing. And I remember watching Cat Williams a little bit when I was growing up. I didn't really grow up watching a lot of stand-up, but I remember watching Cat Williams, and he used to run around the stage, and I always wanted the theatrics or to do something like that. So when I started watching my sets, I started figuring out where I can do those things at, or where I can change my voice, or where I can lean over a point or do something. And I only could do that because I was watching my videos. And then I would do what I wanted to do, and then I would see how it looked, and I changed it up a lot. So now I move a lot. I talk a lot of shit, and I move a lot.
So body language, does that affect actually a lot of your performance, huh? I never actually thought about that.
I do a lot of that. I actually did a show the other day. They were I know, right? They were videotaping, and they're like, oh, you have to stay in this spot. And for me, that was really difficult, but I'm a professional, so I had to suck it up and do it. But, it's because most comics, or at least in Portland, they just stay in one place when they do their sets. They don't move around. And so for me, it was really hard. I went off camera a couple times. He was kind of talking to me about it after. I'm like, bitch, you know I moved. I told him to, make the thing go out, but he, was like, no, she wants it up close with everybody. And I was like, that's stupid. But, yeah, I move the stage a lot. I walk around. And I like to get in crowd face and do stuff. I did a lap dance at one of my last shows.
There you go.
Hey, that's a double, a double show there.
Yeah. So I do a lot of weird shit on stage.
Okay.
How much does the audience play a part in, let's say, you start talking to a certain individual, or I don't know, does it ever restrict your movement, or
a heckler or anything?
I don't go too off topic with improving. Usually I do have crowd work jokes where I expect an audience member to respond to me. But because I've done enough shows, I know how every person's going to respond. So I have a response for their response. It's kind of a comedy thing. We kind of have a response for what they're going to say. So I usually do those type of crowd work. But there are also people who don't respond how you want them to respond, or they're too scared to talk because they're at a comedy show.
They're just
I've been there where they just won't respond, and it's real awkward, and so I'll just talk shit to them instead.
Have you ever been heckled back though?
Semi, not. Really? For some reason, I don't know what it is, people don't heckle me. I think it's because I start off talking so much shit. Yeah. I think people might be afraid.
I can't keep up with her.
I don't know. I can talk that shit.
And what people don't know, which I probably shouldn't say on here, I'm not the best roaster. But no one knows that because of how I talk on stage. I'm real confident with my shit talking. Yeah. But it's all written shit, right?
Yeah.
I'm not that great off the cuff with roasting people. And I'm always like, fuck, I hope someone doesn't get me. But no one has. The only time I've ever been really heckled where I got off topic was actually this set I do about strippers, and I had said something about I contemplate being a stripper, and there was a stripper in the crowd, and so she's like, "Hey girl, I'm a stripper too," or yelled out something, and then I'm a misogynist asshole. I'm like, "Hey bitch, where's your strip club? I'm trying to come after her." I said something. I don't remember what I said, but I just got off topic because one, she was hot. So I'm just like off topic talking to this girl. And I'm like, what the hell? And then she interrupted my set later on. Something about being a stripper again. And I just got her back. But it was like me hitting on her though.
Yeah.
Like I don't roast, I was hitting on her.
Okay.
And I was like, man, I can end this set early, girl. Leave with you. Like, the crowd was just cracking up. But I don't roast. I do it a different way. Like some people be like, oh, I see your Facebook statuses. You're probably mean on stage. But I'm really not. Like for instance, I have people. Like I'll make a status and say I talk shit about white people in my sets. Mm-hmm. But if you actually go to my set, it's not really actually talking shit about white people. It's more like I have a set about liking white girls and my black friends not liking me because of it. And like it's just like a twist. Yeah. But everyone like assumes because like I start saying something about white people, they're like, oh, she's gonna say something mean and start being prejudiced, man. And then I'm just like, no, I love white bitches, man. I love them, man.
I mean, speaking of that, do you find it difficult, with today's age of sensitivity being like politically correct in your stand-up, or do you have to just go for it and know that people are going to be
someone's going to be offended by anything you say? Honestly, it doesn't really matter. I got this person who was upset about one of my sets because I talked about this fat chick I went on a date with. And I totally body shame her, but I didn't realize it was body shaming until someone actually called me out on it. But I had this set about dating a Samoan girl.
I listened to this.
And everyone laughed, so I never thought about how it could be offensive. Yeah, so I never thought it could be offensive.
Fingers fucking got.
Yeah. It was a real story. And when I used to tell that story, most people knew who the girl was. So they're like, bro, she's gonna come to your set and beat you up one of these days. And I was like, bro, but she's not actually Samoan. She's something else. I forgot what the other island is. I only went with Samoan, so she maybe won't be. But no, people knew who she was, so they're like, bro, she's gonna kick your ass, man. But it was some real shit. I hooked up with a really big girl, and it didn't go well. She was trying to dominate me, and I was like, no, I'm supposed to be the one. It was real awkward. That was the most awkward sex I've ever had in my life, so I'm cool on that.
Did she ever talk to you after it?
Yeah, I almost gave something. Fuck it, we played football together, so I saw her at practice all the time.
Okay.
Maybe we might have to edit that out. I was like, I don't know if I want that. Fuck it, nigga. Fuck it.
Oh, wow.
I mean, a lot of the jokes I've seen, like, so, like, did you ever have to come out on stage? I mean, I know, like, it's prevalent in your shows, but did you ever have to, like, actually, like, explain to someone, like, hey, I mean...
Yeah, I didn't really have to because, like, all my sets are about fucking bitches. So it's like, no, she fucks bitches, don't need to come out. But I've also had, like, when I had first started, most of my sets were actually about being black because that's the most thing. That's, like, what I identify as the most. Mm-hmm. So most of my sets were just being black or having, like, a brother who had ashy-ass legs because he was dark-skinned. It was just, like, a lot of stuff about being black. So I had done this show, the Queer Comedy Festival, because I'm about to just air shit out.
Hey, go ahead. No, that's good. That's what this is for.
But I got in this Queer Comedy Festival. I wasn't in it this year. My excuse on Facebook was because I was black and I missed the time to sign up, but now I just didn't want to be on it because they were really judgy. I wasn't really feeling the vibe when I was there last year, but when I had did my set, and I don't really talk about, I wasn't really talking about girls and stuff back then. I was just talking about being black. And so I'm just like on and on. And one of the people that worked there was like, hey, this is the Queer Comedy Festival. Like, I would like if you, like, talk more about being gay. And, like, you booked me because I'm, like, a queer person for the festival. Like, I don't have to talk about what you want me to talk about. Mm-hmm. So that actually really offended me. And she was gay, so it was just, like, really offensive to me. And I'm like, bitch, I can talk about whatever the hell I want to talk about. So instead what I did is I have a new opening. I just created an opening set. Like, just literally, it's only, like, two sentences. But it was aimed towards her. And so I wrote it, and then I did it on stage. It's actually my opener for every single show now. Oh, wow. So I open with it every single show now. And when I first did it, I was telling my friend, I was like, should I do this? Because she gonna know I'm talking about her. And she probably ain't gonna book me again, which she never did. But I went up there and I just did it, and I don't really care. But it's like right now, it's not gonna be like funny, but it was just like I went on stage. It was for that moment, it was a whole different vibe. Yeah. Right. Now it's like kind of funny, but at that moment, it was like she about to be real mad when I say that. She about to be real mad, man. But I just opened my setup with like, so I'm a gay comic here in Portland. And I get a lot of shit sometimes because people say, why don't you talk about being gay on stage? Why don't you identify as being a lesbian? And that was all pointed towards her because she just said that to me. And so I was like, why don't you come out and say you're a lesbian, blah, blah, blah. And then I look down at myself. I'm like, look at me, guys. Does it look like I need to fucking come out and say I'm gay? I'm fucking screaming sports bras and scissoring.
I love that.
And I just looked straight at her and said that shit.
Oh, that's great.
Damn.
That's so awesome.
Hey,
and like that's real. That's the whole thing behind it.
Knowing the meaning behind that just makes that even that much.
No one knows that meaning. That was my first time telling it.
Really?
Oh,
Thank
wow.
you for sharing that.
They try to put me in a box and tell me what I had to talk about, and that pissed me off. And I just feel like I don't have to come out because look at me, bitch. Everyone knows I'm gay. Assume all you want. I don't give a fuck.
So what drives you? I read a little bit of something about like people telling you, like you've had people in your life tell you can't do things. I mean, is that a lot of where
with like comedy, it's like on some real shit. Like I'm not the funniest person in Portland, but I'm the most honest motherfucking comedian in Portland. Like a lot of people make up stuff or like sugarcoat a lot of stuff. So with me, it's like sometimes it's hard to get booked. I do get booked a lot, but like sometimes it's hard to get booked on the bigger shows because people are afraid of how their crowd is gonna react to what I have to say. And I've had people say that to me.
Really?
Like I had a chick, which is weird because she was Hispanic, but she didn't book me because she said she felt like my sets were too black, and on top of that, she has a lot of feminists in her audience, and I call women bitches. Okay. Which makes sense when I'm like, bro, it's comedy. Yeah. But the whole black comment, I was like, I thought it was weird for a Hispanic person to say I can't really talk about being black so much, right? Because Portland's so like it's so white in the comedy world, like we don't get any support from anyone of color. Almost every show is just white people. So when I first started comedy, it was kind of hard because I was talking about being black, and a lot of people couldn't connect, and that's all I knew at the time. So I was like, I don't know what to talk about because I'm surrounded by black people, and I just was trying to make them laugh. Yeah. Because all my fan base was usually black people when I first started, and then it's like when I started getting booked for a show, like once you start getting booked too much, people stop coming. Is what happens. Like you get stragglers, so then it just became like all just Portland white crowd, and they're just looking at me like, I don't know what ashy legs means. I don't know what hair grease means. So it's like, I make a Proud Family joke in my Samoan Girl set, and like some shows, like people will just be dead.
Really?
Like it happened the other day, and it was just a dead crowd. I was like, what the fuck y'all watch? Like Brady Bunch? And they still didn't laugh when I said that. And I was like, well, okay.
It's funny because like you bring up a good point. Like Portland likes to pretend it's inclusive sometimes.
It's like not at least in comedy, it doesn't seem like it is. It seemed and then it was like they told me I can't say the N-word, and it was like it became this whole thing like, hey, we can't book you, you say nigga too much. Hey, we can't book you because you dress like a thug on stage. Bitch, you never seen Def Comedy Jam? Like we dress how we dress. Like it was like everyone was trying to tell me how I should do comedy when I first started. I didn't listen to anyone. I just kept cussing, kept calling everyone a bitch, kept saying the N-word, kept dressing how I wanted to dress, and I really didn't care. And the funniest thing about that is I still made it even though they told me I wasn't gonna. And so they told me to change. I didn't change, and instead I just learned how to write better is what happened. So it made me focus more on like trying to write stuff so I can connect to more people, because I was just writing for black people. When I was writing, that's how I was writing. And now it's like a more general sense. Like, okay, what can make everyone laugh? Like, what can I talk about to make everyone laugh?
And still stay like within yourself. Yep. Yeah.
I ain't gonna lie, sometimes it got to where I was talking about white people a lot. Like, I had to, like, include them so that they would freaking, like, let me get on damn shows. Yeah. So it's like I wrote this set about liking white girls and pink nipples. And the craziest thing is I actually don't talk to a lot of white girls. Like, if you actually know me, I fuck everybody.
Everybody.
And so when I do sets and I have this white girl set, usually, I'm not gonna lie, at my shows, the people that come to see, like, the girls I'm dating are not white. And so when they hear my set, I don't tell them I have that set. Yeah. They find it real uncomfortable because I make it like the whole set I make it like I only date white girls. Yeah. Like that's how I talk. And that's because it was accepted in Portland. And so it's one of my main sets I do. And a lot of people know that set. Yeah. But it's a hitter and it hits with any crowd. Black, white, Asian, doesn't fucking matter. Yeah. It hits with everybody. But like when I'm dating, it's the worst set to do, bro. Yeah. I'm always like, damn, I ain't gonna tell him. I'm just gonna do it.
Do it. Either way, you're kind of screwed, right? Like, if you have a white girlfriend, right? She's like, oh, she's only dating because I'm white. And then if you don't have a white girlfriend, they're like, well, what the hell is going on with you?
And because of that set, every white girl thinks I want them. That's what's more annoying.
I mean, is that a problem?
Half of them be ugly. Oh, and they're like, oh, I'm white, so she'll like me. Like, that's the mindset some people have, and it's real awkward. And they'll even say sly comments like that, and I'm just like, bro, like, I'm not into you because you're white. Yeah. It's real awkward, but it is what it is.
It's funny because you're a comedian, so they should know that it's a joke.
Yeah, you know what I mean? Like, comedy's like all exact. Like I like white girls. I ain't gonna lie about that. Yeah. But it's an exaggerated shit. And I totally over exaggerate that shit. I like all nipples, if anyone's listening. I say I like pink nipples, but I like them all. Hey, I don't discriminate the nipples, bro. I don't discriminate the nipples, man.
No, you're inclusive. I love it. So is there like a motto maybe, or like a quote like that kind of stuck with you, or like maybe something that you thought of? Like, doesn't even have to be...
Or somebody else's quote, but joke, or I don't know, maybe one Cat Williams.
Yeah, something that's like really stuck with you.
Like, comedy-wise, just in general?
Just in general,
anything, really.
Yeah, in general.
Like, it's the corniest thing ever, but I always, like, think of it. Winners never quit, and quitters never win.
Okay.
And, like, with comedy, with just everything in life, it's like, I've always just try to do everything, and, like, I do a lot of doing and not talking. And it seems like even with the comedy world, or before I got into comedy, I was like supporting a lot of artists around town because all my friends are rappers. And so it was like I was supporting all these shows, and I always had these people acting like they were grinding. And it's like they weren't really doing nothing. So once I actually found comedy, like I actually was grinding. I was out there like trying to get on shows. I was going to events, trying to support other comics, trying to support other rappers, like trying to get my face out there just so that people could see me and shoot, maybe they'll book me. But like I did probably, I think, I did like 108 shows last year. It's my first 7 months into comedy.
Wow.
I only know that because I filed my taxes for those months. But yeah, I did 108 shows.
How many is that per day?
I don't know. I was doing like 16 a month or something. I remember.
So that's like.
So I was doing like 3 to 4 a week, and it was rough. But the whole point of it was to get my name on posters. Even though those first couple months, getting my name right was real annoying. Like they would go off like my Facebook name, which is my first and last name. They'd go off of like they'd just spell it wrong. I was always Shrista Little is what they put me under.
Shrista Little?
Trista Little. I was on like most posters as Trista Little. And I'm like, bro, like get it together. Or no one just asked my stage name, but it was like, I remember someone said, watch, one day they're going to know your name, man. Like, I'm not a celebrity, but at least in Portland. And so I was like, oh my gosh. And so it was a whole lot of like trying to get on these damn posters, and they couldn't get posters right. But I was also not getting paid. Like, a lot of people, like, think I was just, like, some big star because I was getting booked a lot. Comedians always get booked. If you look at any comedian's page who's decent, we're doing tons of shows. But it's, like, I got to a point where, like, I was accepting every show. And so I did a show where there was 2 people at a bar, like, 20 feet away, and I'm standing on the stage and just doing comedy. It was horrible.
Wow.
I don't know. We just do a lot of shitty bars, and there's usually not people there, or they don't care because they're like, why the hell is there someone on stage? I'm just trying to get drunk. Yeah. And so it was just like a whole lot of shitty bars, and just, man, comedy was hard at first. But now I'm at a point where it's like, I did all that grimy gutter stuff and did 108 shitty shows, barely got paid anything. My tax, I got paid like $400, like for the actual paid shows. So a total of 400. And all those shows, we barely get paid. We get paid like $10, $20 or something. Sometimes I got paid more, but it's like now that I've done all that, I'm at a point where I'm like, okay, I'm only accepting paid gigs now. Even if it's $10, I'm gonna accept it. But a lot of comedy shows are just drink tickets. People don't know that most comedy shows are just drink tickets. Yeah. So I was like, I'm only accepting paid gigs, and now I'm at a point where like I'm doing stuff that's not just comedy. So people are starting to see me do a lot of other stuff, and so now I'm finally getting booked for the top shows. Okay. Like, thank God. It took a lot. It took, man, doing comedy in front of rednecks and shit.
It's the consistency and the grind and, like, just knowing that, hey, you're going to start out. You're not going to become rich and famous like that, exactly. You know?
And people don't get that. Like, I've had artists, because I book, like, rap shows, get upset when I put them, like, first in the lineup. Because they think they're so good. I'm like, nobody knows who you are. Like, I'm not going to put you later on the lineup. Yeah. And it's like, when I first started, I was first. Forever. Yeah. The other day when I finally got accepted to one of the top shows in Portland, like, I was first and I got the least amount of time. I only did 7 minutes. It's because in the comedy world, I just got accepted to Portland. They all think I'm this huge celebrity, but the comedy world was not accepting me. Yeah. So I've been doing shitty shows forever, but it's like,
so you gotta just
I had to make my way up, and I finally made it. But it's like I had to go first, and I only did 7 minutes, and I had people come to like, Why did you go so fast? And I was like, yeah, I'm not as big as y'all think I am. Yeah. Like, I'm getting up there, though.
In all those, did you have to change up your skits? Or
I base it off the crowd, because I have about 30 minutes of material. Wow. Okay. But I just kind of fill out the crowd. Because, for instance, I did this Tacoma show. Bro. So, but it is Tacoma show, and I show up. It's all black people, whatever. Like most of my, I do a monthly show, and it's mainly POC people, and so, but they're like my friends and local people. So like, I'm like, hey, I can do fucking black people, whatever. So I go to Tacoma. It's just all black people. There's no white person in the crowd. And I don't even know if there's a Mexican in there, motherfucker. It was just black people, and like I'm doing my set, killing it. I get to my closer, which is about liking white girls. And niggas did not like that shit.
Oh, really?
They were just dead silent looking at me like, oh, stupid ass light-skinned girl liking these white bitches. And I know their perspective. So I was like, I see where you're coming from. But they was looking at me like, this bitch don't stop talking about liking white girls, man. And it was like, I never told anyone about that. I told everyone Tacoma went really well. I even posted the clips of the really well parts of it. But nah, my closer didn't hit, which never happens. So that was so awkward. And it was just, luckily it's only 2 minutes, but it felt like it was 12 hours. Wow. It was just 2 minutes of just silence and everyone looking at me like, bitch talking about like a white girl. Yeah. So I got totally judged. And then I did my closer, which is talking about my pussy being gentrified because I fuck white bitches. My pussy being vegan because I like white bitches. And it's usually like my hitter, and it was like dead silence. And I was like, yeah, my pussy just turned vegan on me. And I was just like dead silence, bro.
Oh, shit.
It was just dead silence. I was like, all right, well, my name's Shrista Tyree. I'm just gonna get out of here.
I am out of here. Thank you very much.
I was like, fuck. It was real awkward. Whew.
Oh my god.
I've honestly never heard that one.
Oh my.
Pussy's gentrified.
Man, it's my closer, man. I'm gonna send that to you.
No. We watched that one.
Yeah, I used that one on Helium.
That one was hilarious. I mean, the 2017 one and then the 2018 one were like night and day, but man,
yeah.
The 2018 one was a kill.
I was way more comfortable on stage.
The whole thing. Yeah, you were.
Not that I wasn't that back then, but that was only 3 months in. Like, I was pretty comfortable for 3 months in last year. But,
I mean, it sounds... I mean, you make it sound kind of easy, but, I mean, have you ever kind of gone cold on stage at all? I mean...
Not necessarily.
Yeah.
I mean, there's times, like, I bomb, but it's not, like... It's never a whole set. Mm-hmm. Most comics, there'll be just, like, a whole set bomb. Yeah. I'll just have parts that bomb.
Okay.
And just, like, the Tacoma one, but, like... There's some shit that don't hit. I'm trying to think. I feel like there was one. Oh, my Samoan girl one. I did it at this what's it called, local lounge. to that local lounge one time, which is like a queer friendly bar. Mm-hmm. And I don't know what it was about that set, but everyone was just offended.
Really?
And I was like, why the fuck are you offended? It was really weird.
No.
So I've never done that set there again. Yeah. I performed there 2 other times, and now I just, since we're all fucking gay, I just did my dildo set.
Yeah.
This fucking dildo set I have. And it was a hitter.
Yeah. No, the sets that you have been great. I mean, is it tough to like come up with new material sometimes? I mean,
yeah, all the stuff I'm doing, it's pretty much like my first jokes I've written, and just extended, or like I just rewrote them because I understand comedy more now. But like right now, I've been writing stories, which has been kind of hard because I was never really a storyteller. I tell like quick punchlines. Like I tell a story, but it's like punchline. Yeah. Maybe you watch like Chappelle or something. He's like actually telling a full-on story. Yeah. So I have 2 new sets that I wrote, and it's actually, one's about growing up with my mom, and she was raised by her white parent and black parent, and so she was raised by her white parent, but she's mixed, and so the whole set's about how I had to learn how to say the N-word even though I was black, because she never said the N-word because she grew up on her white side, and so that one's a little bit more real because I never talk about real stuff in my comedy. Like, I kind of do, but not really. I just exaggerate it. It's like a character I created. So, like, I'm about to do a whole kind of a switch and talk about real stuff. Yeah. So it's gonna be different.
Personal things?
Yeah, more personal.
Okay.
Yeah. Like, I don't talk, like, my mom's a character in my life for sure, and I don't ever bring her up. And I got stories for days about her, so I got a couple stories about her. Yeah. But I'm just gonna get more real on everybody and stop talking about bitches is bitches. It's kind of like, I feel like I'm just getting grown. I'm like, man, I need to get more real. Yeah. And that'll be more something people can connect with, because it's like, when I listen to like Kevin Hart, his whole stories are about like his family. And like I watched this documentary him and Oprah did, and he was saying you have unlimited stories if you talk about your personal life. Yeah. And I've been writer's block for 6 months. I don't think I've written anything since like December. So it's like, and it's because I wasn't able to like make stuff up and lie on stage anymore, because now it's like my life, and it's hard to just be up there bullshitting about fake stuff. Yeah. Like, even the sets I do, I hate talking about them, but I haven't had the balls to fucking do all my new shit, because it's different, because I'm such a punchline comedian, and I'm trying to switch up to storytelling. I'm still gonna put punchlines in it, but I'm just trying to be more real.
Get out of the shell. Yeah. It's hard sometimes. It's scary.
It is, but I'm finding my voice is what we call it in comedy. Like, when you first start out, you just kind of write about what you think people want to hear, not what you want to actually talk about. Yeah. And so I've realized that, and now I've just been writing a ton, but it's just like left field. So it's gonna be interesting.
Yeah.
That's I don't know when it's gonna be released. Soon. It's all written. I just gotta actually memorize it. Yeah.
Well, and I know I think you mentioned in an interview too, like, you never do new jokes on stage, right? You don't ever like try them out. And I know you mentioned it kind of earlier too. Is there like a reason, or like, do most comedians do that as well? Do you know?
I don't know what interview you're talking about. Maybe I misworded it, but I always try new stuff on stage because I don't go to open mics.
Oh, okay. So, I did hear that wrong.
No. I think you said something like you should go to open mics to test out your new jokes, but I don't go to open mics.
That's what I said. Yeah.
Okay.
I just don't like going to open mics, but I just try stuff on stage. But I usually put it in the middle so that if it does bomb, people forget about it.
There you go. Yeah. Right? They call it like the shit sandwich, right? You put the good bread on top, you put the shit in the middle, and put a nice loaf of bread.
They told me that when I first started. Someone said that. Really? Like, you're gonna not go to open mics, you better put all your new shit in the middle. So, I open up with something good and I close with something good. My middle sometimes can. Most people don't remember that part. Like, but some of my sets are not the best the whole way through because I be trying new shit too much.
Yeah. I mean,
it depends. If it's a dope show, like the last one I just did, it's like I'm only gonna do my best jokes. If I know there's gonna be a lot of people there. But if it's just like a regular comedy show in Portland, I don't care.
Well, like you said, you did some smaller ones, right?
Yeah.
So why not?
There's still shows, but like there's barely anyone there. I don't care.
Exactly. I mean, it's good to like. I mean, you're just sharpening your sword at that point, right? I mean, you're just trying out new shits, bounce off the wall, see who it kind of sticks with, and going from there.
With open mics, the reason I should be doing open mics though is because with open mics, when you go there, it's always just comedians there. And so if you don't have new shit every week, no one's gonna laugh. So I have done like 3 open mics before, and like I was new, so I just came back with the same set at the same mic, and so it was just dead silence. I was like, oh my god, this is so awkward. To like, yeah, that's why people do mics, because it pushes you to keep writing. If you ever go to mic, you'll just see comics with just their damn notepads writing. I never was that comic side. I was like, man, I need to get on their level. I need to actually grind. But I actually have been thinking about a lot going to open mics, because I don't write enough. I like never write.
Really?
Do you like try to like collaborate with any other comedians?
Nah, comics aren't really into all that, just because there's like that whole joke stealing thing. It's not really a thing. We might like, I'd say the only thing I have done with someone is told them my set, and then, but it was when I was new. I never did it ever again. She had been doing it for a while though, but I was telling her about a set, and she was just bouncing ideas to me, which wasn't a bad thing. But it was at the same time, like sometimes she would say something real funny, and I feel like I couldn't say that because she thought of it. Even though she was giving it to me, it was just weird.
Yeah.
So I never did that. I think in like rap and music, that's cool, but like with comedy, it's just different.
Is there like an unspoken rule about that? Like, what happens if someone gets caught stealing?
It's an ordeal.
Yeah.
I haven't seen it happen, at least in Portland, but like you hear about it all the time.
Yeah, there's that video of Joe Rogan calling out Carlos Mencia, I think at the Comedy Store in LA or something.
Really?
During an open mic or something like that, and they get into a big argument because it was after Carlos Mencia booked like a big HBO special.
Yeah.
And he was accused of stealing like a massive portion of George Lopez's like.
Oh shit.
Yeah,
Yes, I don't know. So I mean, that's the only thing that.
I think Amy Schumer did that too. I feel like there's a whole ordeal.
Really?
That she got caught stealing like all these C and B list comedian stuff.
That's totally
because it's not like anyone would know.
Yeah, nobody would know, right?
But I guess they had it all logged because they had posted it like on YouTube or something.
Yeah. So is it good to post? Like, I know you don't want like your material all around the internet. Maybe
it's not good to post. It's not good to post. But in my case, I feel like a lot of comics, you'll go on any comics page, they ain't gonna post shit.
Yeah.
The only reason I even post clips is because I feel like I'm a really, really new comedian. And if I'm trying to make it big, I'm gonna be doing this for years.
Yeah.
Like, I at least gotta put something out there so people can see me. Which still sucks because someone could have already stole that by now.
Yeah.
And so that's why comics don't post stuff. But
you do have it videotape. Yeah.
Exactly.
Log, so.
And it increases your...
and people can see what you do.
Exactly.
So that's why I post clips. But like, I don't know. A lot of people don't. I just feel like I'm gonna have new material. Like I just started this. Like,
it gives the
it's
ability.
gonna be years and years. I'm gonna probably be doing this. So.
For everybody around the world to see your work though as well, right? So if you just like didn't post anything, like nobody's gonna know. I mean, who knows? Maybe somebody from the country sees you and says, "Hey, we need to get you out here." Like.
Yeah,
exactly.
Just who you appeal to at the time. Maybe this, a certain set you have just really kicks off in another country. You never know.
That's how it is. Like, I do a really high, like, social media presence, and a lot of comics don't. So this is one thing I'll say, and I hope they listen to this. Like, I do so much social media stuff. I post clips. I do all this stuff I be doing. When I walk down the street downtown on Friday night, I get approached a ton. I was just out at Dirty the other day. I got approached by probably 8-9 people. I have no idea who they were. Most of them saw me either at a stand-up show they happened to walk in on, or they saw me on Facebook, or they saw me on IG. And so I get approached a ton, and people are excited to see me. Like, if I walk down the street... Well, I almost said their name. I won't say the name, but the top comedian in Portland right now, and we both walk down, no one would recognize who they are because they don't post shit. They don't have any social media presence. Most comics don't. Like, they don't do anything. Yeah. And so a lot of comedians don't like me because of how much attention I get when I'm not even the funniest person. I just tell myself that enough that I believe I'm the funniest person. Even though I know for a fact I'm not.
Hey, that's important though.
I know for a fact I'm not that funny as some other people. Like, I would put like 9 people ahead of me in Portland that are way funnier than me. But they don't grind. They don't do nothing. They just go to stand-up shows, and that's all they do. They don't do social media. They don't do shit. So half of them don't like me because I'm popular and they're not. And some of them are funnier than me, so they just don't fuck with me.
There's a motto that I love. It's if you ain't got any haters, then you're doing something wrong.
For real. I got a lot, too.
Then you're definitely doing it right.
Hey, the hate ain't strong, the love's all gone.
That's another motto right there.
That's not not listening to this dude about love.
Hey, I'll say it again. Love's all good. I'm glad I got some love from Shrista.
But man, but it's some real shit. I just try to do a lot and I try to stay relevant. That's my thing.
Yeah.
Like, I'm always trying to post something outrageous. And so when I'm just living my life, if I think of something goofy or funny, I just have this in my notepad on my iPhone, because iPhones are life. Hashtag fuck Samsung.
Chris has a Samsung. And it's sad.
Man, so I just got off topic. What was I talking about?
Well, I mean, you brought up a good point about like Portland and the scene that you're building for yourself through social media. Forget Portland. If there's a venue anywhere in the United States, I mean, where would you go? And
in the world?
In the world, or just like a city maybe that you think would be like the coolest place to do stand up.
Man, I don't freaking know. I would want to go to like Britain or something, just to see the Harry Potter thing. That's all.
Throw out some Harry Potter jokes.
Yes.
Okay.
Hell
I love
yeah.
Harry. That's my shit.
Yeah, oh, me too.
Me too.
That's my shit. Yeah.
I'm gonna get a tattoo with a Sirius right in the hippogriff.
Okay.
Escaping?
When he's escaping, yeah.
That'll be
dope.
cool.
Yeah.
I know, I want the Deathly Hallows.
Yeah. I've seen
But I want a
some.
small one, like behind my ear.
Okay.
With always.
Like a little secret.
The always, I like that. I have a Pinterest page. I'll hook you up with. I have a lot of tattoos. A lot of tattoo ideas though, on the Harry Potter ones too. So
Shout out to Chris's Pinterest.
Hey,
I gotta sneak
Sponsoring this podcast, Chris's Pinterest page.
Britain would be cool. You think like? I mean, I don't know how big the comedy. Yes, like
in the UK.
In UK,
Yeah. Clubs.
Do you know
everywhere.
much about it?
no.
Yeah. I don't either.
I mean, British humor is a bit more dry.
So I think you'd probably kill it there then.
Yeah, maybe.
Screw their dry stuff. You bring the real, you know?
I was saying some crazy shit.
Yeah, I know. Well,
I remember what I was going to say earlier. Just popped in my head. We were talking about statuses.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay. So I write outrageous statuses every day. So I try to keep it like a notepad of them. And so I'll post something crazy every goddamn day. People get mad about it. I think my one yesterday where I got like 109 likes, I said, men, despite what you think, a girl has faked an orgasm with you.
Why would
and all it was angry men in there. And the funniest thing, all the girls that commented was like, that's totally true.
Yeah.
I mean,
because the weirdest thing is
happen.
Like,
yeah.
The weirdest thing is like I've heard it from multiple women. It's usually their boyfriends. Like people like get mad when on the post because they're just talking about like someone they hooked up with. But no, most people say it's like someone they were in a relationship with because they'll be like, oh, he just was like so into it and having a good time. And I wasn't, so I felt awkward, so I just faked it. And he's like, I faked it really well because I know how my orgasm is. So. But like usually people say it's people they're in relationships with, and I think that's so fucking weird. Like, why would you fake one? That was my thing. Like I was just saying it to be an ass. But like dudes are getting mad, and I'm like, bro, I'm with you on that. What the fuck? Like why would you like if a bitch can't get me off, I tell her. I'm like, okay, bitch, bye. Grab her head, move that shit out the way, bitch. You're done. Get out my room.
Guys can't
bitch,
really
get out my room.
Yeah, guys can't fake it.
You can't fake it, yeah.
I mean,
you can.
Somebody on the status said you can because they said, oh, like I used to do pornos and like I got off, but like I wasn't. He's like I wasn't into it, but you still got off.
Yeah, you still are.
Getting off.
Still getting off.
That's what I said. He was trying to argue. I was like, I'm cool.
Man, I don't know about
no, that's a great way to draw attention to your content, though, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Boom.
I post stupid ass shit. Like I made this post, and I actually started making a new set about it. But I made this post that said, "You know you're a lesbian when you're waiting for your dick to come in the mail." And it's also my new set I'm writing now.
I love it.
My real shit.
I love the part when you were like,
man,
I'm not jerking off if I did that. I was like, oh my god.
man,
that was a good
real
one.
Shit.
No, that whole...
I be on that UPS website all the time, bro. Tracking my dick and shit. Man, that motherfucker there yet? Y'all promised her some unreleased content. I actually don't have that out yet.
The tracking number and everything.
God.
Unreleased content there.
No, my mailman. His name is Jack.
Right? How you doing today, Jack? What color we got in today? Yeah.
Oh, that's good.
Oh man. Wow.
I got issues, man.
Hey,
This is why I'm single, y'all.
Hey,
I'm crazy.
We got a good, we got a good podcast.
Yeah.
Just for everybody that may be tuning in late, rewind the podcast real quick.
Real shit.
If you happen to just skip forward ahead,
No, just don't do it.
Yeah, you just
don't
missed
do
it.
it. Start from-
Yeah.
I mean, we started off with Chris telling jokes or talking about his situation. So start off right. And a little joke about us.
Hey,
We can just do a little compilation of me clowning him like that. Tell his little love story, clown.
We'll invite you for some more, We'll have some more later on down the line.
Before we finish off, I wanted to. Do you have anything to leave other aspiring comedians or just other creative individuals? What would you say?
I would say don't limit yourself when it comes to stand-up. Yeah, I do stand-up, but like if you look at a lot of people like Adam Sandler, Jim Carrey, Dave Chappelle, Chris Rock, Kat, they all started from stand-up, but they're all doing a ton of other stuff. A lot of people don't know some of those people started from stand-up comedy, but stand-up comedy, after a while, it's just like, I don't know, it gets to you. It gets kind of depressing laughing about all your traumas in your life. Like you're just laughing at everything that still hurts you. You're like, God damn. But it's like you gotta do more. And like you can't limit yourself. And so that's why I also like kind of do comedy rap on the side. But like I want to act. I want to do a lot of different stuff. So I would just say don't limit yourself. Keep grinding. Keep doing more than what you think you could do.
No, that's awesome. I mean, at the end, or I mean, maybe where you want to be. What's that idea in your mind? Like where you want to be?
In my head, I actually want to be like a comedic actor. I've never acted before, but I've seen like Mike Epps like on like how he plays Day Day and The Next Friday. I don't know. I just love that type of role. So I've always wanted to do something like that. I just haven't got into that yet. And then doing like an HBO special or something would be totally dope once I can do like an hour.
Right?
But that'd be totally dope.
I think even just like having like that, say like HBO special.
Man.
Like, I grew up watching like a lot of stand
it'd
up
be
through
cool.
HBO. Right?
Even Netflix. I'll take a Netflix special.
Right, Netflix is about to beat out HBO here, man. It did actually.
Like $200 million for the specials.
Oh, really? Shit.
Yeah.
Everyone has Netflix, man.
50 million.
That's a lot. I mean, it's crazy how, I mean, just these comedians are able to put shows like this together for the new 2018. I mean, you kind of mentioned too.
Yeah.
Sometimes you got to be a little, wary and understand who your audience is. So it's really tough to like stay within that kind of space, but also be yourself. So I think you're killing it.
Thank you.
I really enjoy your jokes, and I mean, I'm excited.
I enjoyed your jokes today.
Yeah, I enjoyed the jokes today.
Hey.
Obviously, but no, it's been amazing. I mean, I'm really excited to see the growth.
When's the next show? I think we definitely
need to
want to
go.
come out and see a show.
So the next stand-up show is gonna be August 3rd.
Oh shoot! Heck yeah!
It's called Dead Comic Society, hosted by Chase Brockett. And then I actually have a rap show coming up, which is hilarious because so I do rap at my stand-up sets. So I actually have 2 songs I wrote, but I open up sometimes with this rap I do about my ex and how she broke my heart. But it's actually funny. It's not like some crybaby shit. But it's funny, and I've been posting like little clips of me doing these, and so someone actually hit me up to do a rap show, and I was like, I'm not a rapper. And they're like, I saw your IG. I was like, I guess I'm a rapper. And so I got booked for Lil Debbie, some rapper. But it's at Paris Theater, and she actually has a humongous following. She has like 430,000.
Oh wow! Okay.
Yeah.
She got the blue check mark. Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
There you go.
I'm opening for her, and Yeah, it's gonna be packed. So
do you
if you need a
Paris?
ticket, hit me up. Paris
The
Theater.
Paris?
Yeah,
Okay.
definitely. And when's that show at?
That one is August 14th at 9 p.m.
Okay, perfect. 'Cause we're gonna leave on the 23rd, so we can.
We can
Come through. I've been practicing. I got 4 songs. It's pretty dope. I only had like 1 unfinished song, and now I just decided to write since I done told this person I was a rapper.
Yeah, right?
So I was like, I guess I gotta show up with music.
Hey.
How long do you get to be able to rap for, though? Is it like a minimum?
10 to 15 minute set.
Oh, that's not bad.
So
Yeah, that's not
like
bad.
3 to 4 songs.
What's more difficult for you?
I would say rapping is a little harder just because of breath control. The only reason I'm practicing is because when I do it now, I'm just like having an asthma attack. But since I do it at a stand-up show, I just like talk about how I'm having an asthma attack. It all works out. But sometimes I do it at rap shows, and when I say the asthma attack thing, it's not funny to them because they're like, wow, you need to drink more water. Wow, you need to take your inhaler. Like everyone's judging me. So I'm like, let me actually start practicing. But yeah, it's harder, but the response is more fun, I think. It's more fun because people are like, hey. I don't know. It's like I like the response better.
Yeah.
Like stand-up's tight though too. I like laughs, but that hood response, like, hey, I see you. I like that shit.
Perfect. Well, we're gonna try to come to both. I mean, definitely.
Yeah.
So,
I'm through.
yeah.
It's been a pleasure having you on
Thanks for
today's
having me.
episode.
Yeah, really appreciate you joining us.
Don't forget to follow me, y'all. Shrista Tyree.
We're gonna have all the links on our website, and you can follow us
Instagram.
on all that stuff. Go follow Shrista.
Shout out to Shrista.
Hey, Trista Little.
Yeah.
Let's do it.
Don't call me Trista, motherfucker.
She got it. She got it.
I'm gonna take your ex-wife.
We had to give a little bit back
Better not have
to
pink nipples.
Shrista.
Hey, I had to just a little.
Man, you better watch her.
When we end our episodes, we always send everybody off with an album. All right, so we do
who?
an
Oh,
album.
like
Right? So,
boom. It's like an exciting
Is this like a white person thing?
Yeah,
it's a
Yeah.
Did you know
Oh,
Duncan and Chris in high school? Like when they would
You remember
all the
Duncan,
time,
right?
They'd always just yell "Oh, boom" all the time.
I don't remember that.
Oh God,
It was a high school thing. Gone into now.
Yeah.
It's like my quote, my little motto.
It's our thing. It's our thing,
Sorry,
right? So
let's do
it's
it.
the album. On 3, we're gonna go album. All right.
All bloom?
Album. It's like like boom, like
Boo?
boom.
Abu.
I'm Abu. I am
That's his
Abu.
name. His name's
Ah,
Abu.
boom?
Oh, boom.
Oh.
Boom. Yeah.
Like O,
Like,
OH,
So like you gotta throw up like the Mac Dre.
Oh, boom.
Throw up like the Mac Dre. You know what I mean? Like the
Y'all see what these white people got me doing, man? We're about to get some gluten chips now. Let's go.
you know, Chris's tattoo is done with vegan ink, right?
Hey, probably is.
Shop. Okay,
what's vegan
he
ink?
went to a shop and it was only the whole block was a vegan block. You couldn't bring any product that wasn't vegan on the block.
That's some weird shit.
Hey guys, like let's not talk shit about it. I'm gonna get some more ink from the
No,
homie.
I'm not. I mean, I'm not. I just thought.
Hey, yeah, that's kind of.
I think it's nothing about it. Yeah.
We're about to O-boon in this bitch.
All right, you ready? All right. So 1, 2,
All right,
3.
Oh, boom!
We hope you enjoyed that interview with Shrista. We sure did. Definitely go make sure to check out her work. Follow her on Facebook, Instagram, like she said, everything, Shrista Tyree. And if you listen to us on iTunes or Spotify or whatever podcasting service, give us a follow and a comment and a rating. It really helps us and we appreciate that and we love all the feedback.